Hi everyone, we're here at the Project Lead the Way Summit in Indianapolis. I'm Dave Dimmett, Senior Vice President and Chief Engagement Officer at Project Lead the Way. We're joined by over 1,100 educators, policymakers, business and industry leaders from all over the country. And I'm joined this morning by Dennis D.O. Parker from Toyota. And Toyota's been such a great partner of Project Lead the Way, and we love the work that you're doing all across the country. I'd love to hear you talk to us a little bit about that relationship and maybe how it got started, how Toyota and Project Lead the Way came together.
So at Toyota, we really get the fact that our company is no more and no less than our people. We are as good as our people are. So in that context, Dave, we have developed a very intentional training, education, development activity for our people, maybe principally what we call the FAME career pathway with that. And in doing that, in that pathway, we're looking all the way down into the K-12 system and how we bring people up. And here's the kicker. We're looking for the very best people that we can find. And when we went out several years ago, think 2005, 2006, to identify what the best programs are, Project Lead the Way came out on top in that search. So we've had a really productive relationship with PLTW. It has been everything that we thought it would be. It produces incredible people, and they're perfect for our career pathway to build the best people in the world.
You know, it's really one of the premier partnerships that we have at Project Lead the Way. It's been a model for other business and industries here in the U.S., and it's spread not just from originally in the Kentucky location, but then all across your North American facilities. Right. You all announced this year really exciting development, a pre-K to master's program. Would you mind talking about that just a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So we build workforce, and we're actually in a crisis. I say we, that doesn't mean Toyota. That means anyone who employs technical talent, technicians, engineers. We're in a workforce crisis. We will be for a few years. And to resolve that, we think the very best way to both build those really high quality people that I mentioned, but also to ensure that we have a really good talent pipeline of people, is to build a career pathway. The best career pathway is one that will reach all the way down to when kids begin learning. We're manufacturing. We're all about STEM. And so what we've done in partnership with Project Lead the Way, we've actually, this past October, we achieved what we think is the first in the nation, pre-kindergarten, year over year, grade over grade, connected pre-kindergarten to master's career pathway. We announced that in Kentucky. We're not talking about a vision, we're talking about real kids, real teachers in classes, real employers sponsoring this pathway.
You know what I love about the model that you all have created, the AMT program, FAME, it's not just Toyota that's benefiting, it's other business and industries in states all across the country. And can you talk about some of the other business and industries that are involved in some of those partnerships that Toyota really is leading?
Sure. So in this FAME, the organization that we call FAME, that has a FAME career pathway, there are now 27 locations of that program. When I say locations, you can think community colleges as the core school. That's in 11 states. We have almost 300 partner employers who work with us on this. You could think of Ingersoll Rand, GE, Honda in Alabama, just a lot of them you would recognize. Even some employers that you might not think of who aren't in manufacturing, who still think this is the best pathway for them. L'Oreal Cosmetics, HEB Grocery, Purdue Farms. It's really widespread.
Dennis, yesterday on the panel, we had a couple of your AMT students, and we talked about that connection between their Project Lead the Way experience and the AMT program, and not just the core skills that they develop through the pathway, but also those professional behaviors. Some people call them soft skills. Toyota calls them professional behaviors. Can you talk about what those professional behaviors are and what they mean for students?
Yeah, so you mentioned soft skills, and so soft skills is a whole area of capability that anybody needs. So in the workplace, you know, everyone is busy, everyone is doing work, everyone is working together. And what we find is that what's commonly referred to as the soft skills, these are absolutely necessary skills and capabilities for people to have. And unfortunately, we have a bit of a problem with that in the U.S. today. It seems like people aren't developing that very well. So in our AMT, Advanced Manufacturing Technician program, that's that core program in our pathway, we have what we call the professional behaviors. We highlight 6 of them. There are really 18 that we develop. But to give you an example, those 6 that we put at the top of the mountain, so to speak, right? Attendance, initiative, diligence, interpersonal relationships, teamwork, and communications. And that means both verbal and written. But we have 12 others that come right behind that we develop. Why? It is an absolute critical necessity to get along in work and in life.
We're excited for the first time in our assessments at Project Lead the Way. We're going to start to measure some of those professional behaviors, some of those skills, persistence. We're looking also at creativity, ethical reasoning, so important for today's students to understand that. And so we're excited to see that, to do that in conjunction with you. You know, you've talked about there are thousands of students that have been engaged in this program. That's the pipeline for Toyota's workforce of the future. But you've talked about individual students. What does this mean for the individual students that are getting this experience with Project Lead the Way in Toyota?
So this is maybe one of the most incredible opportunities that they will ever have. So it starts with PLTW, of course, right? We look at the incredible development that you do for these students. It gives them exactly the kinds of skills that they need going into the American workforce, life too, for that matter. And then they're now ready to start their education that's going to take them into their adult life. So if they happen to come through the FAME career pathway, they would come to the Advanced Manufacturing Technician program. Many national educators, national workforce leaders believe it is the best two-year technical program in the U.S. That ought to be pretty attractive to students. And we have it set up in a way that they will graduate debt-free. If that's where they hop off the pathway or take a pause on the pathway, they'll go into a job that in the first full year will pay $50,000 to $75,000. But there's more than that. So usually PLTW students, the people who are in this pathway with us, they're eager learners. They're not ready to stop learning. So if they want to continue, we actually have built into the system seamless continuation. We have bachelor's degree and master's degree programs that will help them continue to grow and help them continue to be just incredible workers. It's really a lifelong engagement that can carry them for years to come.
Dennis, this is a real national model. This is a lot of your vision and a lot of your hard work, and I know you're all over the country promoting the model and sharing with folks best practice. Toyota's a real leader in this way, so we can't thank you enough for the partnership. So really appreciate the relationship and doing great work for kids.
Thank you so much.
From the Project Lead the Way Summit in Indianapolis, thanks for joining us.